Our film starts with an attractive woman getting out of a convertible and walking in slow motion toward a house. She lights some candles and we hear her talking on the phone about waiting for someone and that she was going to go through with doing something that night. She heads downstairs and lets what seems to be her girlfriend in. She gives the girl a ring and they head upstairs. After an impromptu photo shoot, the blonde begins to flirt, the two kiss. The blonde then confesses to the brunette that she's a night walker and shows her fangs, which freaks the brunette out.
There's something I need to tell you. Okay? I'm a night walker. Okay, what's a night walker? Like a vampire. What? Hey! I didn't choose to be like this!
When the brunette tries to leave, the blonde chases her, telling her she's been chosen and they'll just feed off each other. The blonde eventually wears her down long enough to bite her, but then the brunette impales her in the chest with a glass shard, killing her. But before she dies, she tells her that she's now a night walker and will thirst and kill until she finds her one true love.
I'm a night walker now, and you are gonna thirst, kill, until you find your one true love.
The brunette runs out of the house, but before she gets too far, she doubles over, writhing in pain until we see her fangs grow in. Three women then appear dragging a guy. The women appear to be nightwalkers as well. The girl then feeds on the guy to the delight of the other three nightwalker women. We then skip 5 years later, and we're at a university with a professor talking about Dracula and homosexuality, followed by a student talking about Twilight and teen sex. We then find out Twilight Girl is a theater student named Leia, and that she's auditioning for Macbeth. We see that the Nightwalkers are also theater students auditioning. After the auditions, we get our reminder that this is a Lifetime movie. Leia is hit on by a weird guy named Bob, who is not aware he's been friend-zoned, followed by her having a conversation that looks straight out of a commercial for a feminine hygiene product with her mother. The mother in this case is played by Tori Spelling, which is the movie's only connection to the source material it is named after, but is nothing like. She asks her mom if she can invite someone over for dinner, and her mom gets excited. We then find out that the special someone is the Nightwalker girl from the film's beginning. She gives Leia the Your Selected pearl ring she got just before she was turned, and then the two celebrate that Leia got the part of Macbeth. Afterward, the Nightwalker girl walks Leia to her dorm room, and the guy who has a thing for her, along with his friend, sees her. When they witness the vampire and Leia kissing, they make fun of him for barking up the wrong tree in the love department. He looks super dejected and gives the Nightwalker girl a dirty look. We then find out the Nightwalker's name is Pearl when she's approached by the other Nightwalkers. They confront her about taking too long to turn Leia, and Pearl's excuse is she wants her to be willing, most likely so she doesn't have an issue like she did. The girls tell her that they're waiting before they walk off. We skip to Friday, and Leia introduces her mom to Pearl, and understandably she is shocked, since warning her that she was a lesbian didn't cross her mind. After a very uncomfortable scene of people talking about stuff they're uncomfortable talking about in a very awkward manner, the night mercifully ends with Leia coming out and her mom storming off. We then go to the Macbeth rehearsal, where basically the play has been turned into a Cinemax After Dark film. After rehearsal, Bob confronts Leia about why he can't get a shot, and of course it doesn't go well for him. As he's walking away, he overhears the Nightwalkers talking about hunting and sees one of them kiss Pearl. He immediately calls Leia's mom and claims Pearl is on drugs, which results in the mom freaking out and demanding Leia never see her again without, actually telling her why, because communication isn't that great in this film. I mean, honestly, this film would have been 10 minutes long had ambushing people not been the way that people communicate. Anyway, her mom then calls the school and asks about Pearl, but they have no record of her, which freaks her out even more. Meanwhile, we see the Nightwalkers head in slow motion to a frat party. They witness a guy drug a girl and take her upstairs to a bedroom. They fang out as they watch the guy manhandle the girl, and just before he can force himself on her, they attack him, slice his wrist, and take turns feeding.
Other
queer symbol. They then take off just as someone shows up looking for the girl and sees the dead body of her attacker. Somewhere else, we see Leia's mom sneak into the campus photography lab where she finds Pearl's photos of Leia as well as photos of Pearl with bloody fangs. When Leia comes home, her mother once again tells her that she can't see Pearl, continuing to not explain why, other than vaguely saying that she's dangerous. The next night, Pearl is once again confronted by the Nightwalkers, who continue to nag her about not turning Leia. She promises them that she will do it that night. As Pearl and Leia head off on a date, you see that both Leia's mom and the Nightwalkers follow them. As they start to make out in the woods, Pearl stops and admits to her what she is.
Tell me. I'm a Nightwalker. What does that mean?
Leia storms off mad, and the other Nightwalkers confront Pearl for letting Leia get away. They say if Pearl doesn't turn her, they will. After Leia attends her weird sex literature class again, she is motivated to call Pearl and ask her to meet her as she wants to talk. They meet at a cemetery after rehearsal, where Leia is totally understanding of the whole bloodthirsty murder thing now. They confess their love for each other, leading to cemetery sex. After that, Pearl gives Leia the rundown of the Nightwalker rules. Leia agrees to be turned so that they can feed off each other forever, but Pearl's against it, as she doesn't want that life for her and warns her to leave before the others come, but Leia is stubborn. Pearl gets her away before the Nightwalkers catch up. The next day, Leia attends a school costume party, and Creepy Bob, who has been in the background of most scenes gawking at Leia, shows up dressed like Dracula and hands Leia a roofied drink. As the drugs kick in, the Nightwalkers show up at the party. The Nightwalkers take Pearl, and Bob walks off with Leia. He lays her down in the yard and starts to get handsy with her, but is then attacked and trained by the Nightwalkers, but is left bloody but alive. Just before the main one can bite Leia, her mom comes looking for her, sees her on the ground, and comes screaming, asking for help, and the vampires disappear. The next day, she tries to explain to her mom that Bob drugged her, but finds out that Bob has been missing. She goes from groggy to panicked in a matter of seconds when she realizes her play is that day, so she calls looking for Pearl and heads off. Backstage, Leia asks the Nightwalker girls if they were at the party, but they deny it. As they're preparing, Bob shows up looking creepier than usual and giving Leia the stalker stare. We're then treated to several scenes from Weird Cinemax Macbeth before Creepy Bob confronts Leia about the murder scene. As this is happening, we see Pearl blurry jogging, assumingly to the theater. As the scene gets going, Creepy Bob goes full-on vampire, comes after Leia, resulting in her running off and Bob and the Nightwalker girls following her. She ends up in the cemetery since that's where you go when you're in danger, I guess. Bob attacks Leia's mom while Pearl takes out the Nightwalker girl single-handedly before they could bite Leia. Leia beats Bob with a tombstone statue, but not before he kills her mother. She loses it over the death of her mom while Pearl tries to console her, and as they walk away, you see one of the Nightwalker girls still moving. Leia eventually convinces Pearl to turn her, and she bites her. We see Leia writhing in pain as her fangs come in. The film ends 1 year after that night when we see Bob and the Nightwalkers walking into a costume party. They remove their masks to show they were disfigured during the fight with Pearl and Leia as they go on to presumably feed on the partygoers. Thanks for watching. If you like this content, please leave a like and subscribe and hit the bell icon to know every time I update. If you want to help my channel grow, please check out my Patreon where you can get access to content early as well as see the content that can't be uploaded here on YouTube. Link will be in the description. Until next time.